Hi, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim, to the elect that are scattered across the four corners of this earth, pushing this truth and faith and sincerity. I'm the brother Shema Allah from the great millstone Houston camp, and it's going to be a quick lesson dealing with Romans 8 and I guess you could say 5 and 6, basically being carnally minded. So let's get straight into it. This is Romans 8 and 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. So Scripture said to be carnally minded is death. That's thinking with the flesh, reacting with the flesh. You see, because this is how a lot of Israelites think. They resort back to carnality whenever they feel anger, whenever they feel like they want revenge or payback, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, he says to wait upon him. You see, and the Lord, he revenges his elect. You see, the Lord takes care of everything, so you never have to act out in the physical. You see, because that it says for to be carnally minded is death. Right? It says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. You see, so the people that's after the flesh, they do the things of the flesh. They're just carnal people. They can't. They're not on any spiritual level whatsoever. No spirituality. And being carnally minded could get you put to death. Right? Someone pisses you off, and you want to fight. Now, having that type of mentality, the Most High you can end up hurt, and the Most High could basically get you killed if you thinking like that. You want to be the tough guy. You wanna flex, right, on other Israelites. You see, or people that that don't know that they're Israelites, right? However the situation may happen. You see, you want to use brute force. See, or you want to take up guns against Esau, right? You just a violent person. That's carnal. That's thinking with the flesh. You letting the flesh control you. That's not of the Spirit. Right? You got to be spiritual about all things. And when you be spiritual, you know that these things have to happen. They are the scriptures, and that demons hop on people. The Most High has demons on people, right? And they react a certain way. You see, the book of Ephesians says that this is a spiritual battle, right? We wrestle not against flesh and blood. So being carnal gets you nowhere, because this is not a carnal fight. This is a spiritual fight against demons and principalities. You see, even Yahweh, when you think of him, right, he wasn't just a violent person. You see, although you had one instance in the scriptures where men were selling and basically sacrificial animals in the temple, and that pissed him off, and he flipped over the tables and everything, and basically told him not to make his father's house a house of merchandise. But that's the only time he lost it. He said the zeal of the Most High eating him up. You see, and that was all according to the Spirit, because the Most High set that up to happen. You see, but ultimately, Yahushua didn't come on that. Whenever he didn't come with that type of energy. Whenever they wanted to stone him, Yahushua got out the way. He got out of dodge. He didn't fight. He didn't tell his disciples, okay, we need to fight. Even when they came in and got him to be crucified, he didn't tell his disciples to fight. He didn't fight. He told Peter to put up his sword. Right? But this is Luke 9 and 52 and 51. And it came to pass when the time was come that he should be received up, he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem, and sent messages before his face. And they went and entered into the village, into the village of the Samaritans to make ready for him. And they did not receive him, because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem. And when his disciples James and John saw this, they said, Lord, wilt thou that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elijah did, or Elijah? That's what it's the Greek way of saying Elijah. But he turned and rebuked them and said, Ye know not what manner of spirit ye are of. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy man's life, but to save them. You see, so that's not what he came to do. That wasn't his agenda, to come to destroy anybody, right? Or to kill anybody. And we are sent in Yahushua's stead to follow his footsteps. All he commanded us to do was to teach his word, right? And to be wise. Right? He said, ye know not what manner of spirit ye are of. Like, hey, you tripping. Like, you are tripping, bro. That's not the mission. That's not the goal, to come to destroy anybody. Right? That's not our goal. We ain't out here trying to, be jumping people, or, getting guns and going to the shooting range to try to, prepare for Esau, or, basically flex on other Israelite camps. Or none of that. It's carnal. Calling other Israelite camps out, saying, for boxing matches and shit. Like, bro, no, that's up the world, bro. That's carnal. All right. But if you like that, you're not even taking the word of the Most High seriously. You see, you don't want to be a troublemaker. You don't want to lose your temper in certain situations. Right, because you're gonna have people that piss you off. You're gonna have people that that wrong you, right? But you can't resort to violence all the time, because these people, they are raised in that the 2/3 where, hey, Jake in the hood and in the world, hey, that's what they want. This is what they crave for, violence. The music that they listen to basically persuades them to be carnal, influence them. Right, so you just feed into their energy that they want to be in. You see, and they got nothing to lose, but you got everything to lose having this truth. This is the last scripture. Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So he said, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. So we are sheep. A sheep ain't supposed to be getting into it with no wolf, because a sheep can't win no battle with no wolf. You see, a sheep is docile, and a sheep follows the shepherd. And you got to follow the shepherd. You got to follow Yahushua in the spirit and walk as he walked. It says, be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So you got to be wise as a serpent. You see, and this didn't say be a serpent, right? Because a serpent is a snake, and a snake basically the snake is dangerous. A snake can fuck you up, but it says to be a wise as serpents, in knowledge, crafty, and harmless as doves. So we use our mind in the situation. You You be spiritual about things. That's why it says it's life and peace. Use your minds to maneuver through situations like a serpent, right? Easing your way out of situations. You see, thinking your way out of situations rather than trying to use strength to do it. You see, but just to be spiritual, because we on a whole nother level now with this knowledge, right? We are the best people on the planet Earth through this doctrine. Right? We are God-like. Scripture says you are gods. We are gods in knowledge. Right? The Most High is bringing us back to that state. You know, we are also kings, and we got to conduct ourselves as such. See, and that was really the lesson. Just a little quick lesson. I hope brothers edified. With that, I'm gonna say, Shalom.